Good afternoon and welcome to this production of ACMI Sports. The Arlington Spy Ponder boys varsity high school team against Wilmington. We're about 4 minutes into the game. At this point, no score. Game has been controlled more by Arlington. That ball out to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks for a target, tries to lift it over to Francesco Valagusa. And Miles Lehman manages to engineer a throw-in. Actually, it's going to be a corner kick. Apparently it went out the end line. Miles has the ball. Strong right foot, hit low. And not what Miles was looking for. The keeper from Wilmington has the ball. Wilmington has actually had a number of ties this season with opponents in their primary league: Melrose, Wakefield, Burlington. This ball played by Adrian Black, and he manages to get a throw in for Arlington. Good job there. Ball forward to Miles Lehman. Popped up in the air. Bounced around. Mustafa Ayad over to Miles Lehman. He's looking long for Francesco Valagusa. Francesco's on his horse, racing. Arlington would do well to get some other players into the box. That ball's played into Phineas Santello. He touches it out to Mustafa Ayad. And it'll be out of bounds. Throw in for Wilmington. Big throw by Wilmington. In the past, they've had a player who could throw the ball basically from the sidelines all the way into the goal. And they managed to tie last time they were here on exactly that play. Last year, Arlington was ahead 1-0 in Wilmington. And a late goal off of a corner kick allowed Wilmington to tie. So last 2 years, these two teams have played evenly. Throw-in coming here. Sent out. Phineas Santello has the ball. Looks to get it up forward to Miles Lehman, just a bit behind him. Wilmington controls. Clint Garahan gets it up to Miles, not able to be reached by Miles. Scouting report from one of the Wilmington parents is that the Wilmington players are solid athletes, but not many of them play year-round soccer. Only a couple of them are on club teams. And maybe do not have as much of the finer skills as players who play more regularly. That's chipped in the air to Phineas Santello. He's looking to beat the defender. He turns the corner and launches it up and over. Ball was bouncing. He got under that one. I'm sure that Arlington will be trying to use their speed up front to test the Wilmington defenders. This ball comes in. Clint Garahan on it. And it's out of bounds. Wilmington player did not appreciate the call. The side judge was right there at the time. Francesco Valagusa controls the ball well. Looks for a back heel pass forward to Lloyd. Lloyd Cleary. Now this ball goes over to Mustafa Ayad. Mustafa cuts it back. Again, holds onto the ball. And cleared by Wilmington. Clint Garahan sends the ball into the middle. Lloyd Cleary on it. Lloyd Cleary up to Phineas Santello. Phineas cuts it back. Lloyd Cleary. Lloyd to Francesco Valagusa. Francesco chips it up to Peter Mitri. Peter Mitri has the ball. Cuts it back to Phineas. Phineas sends it in, looking for an Arlington cutter. That ball's bouncing around. Miles Lehman has it. Sends it back to Lloyd Cleary. Just misses him, and that'll be a throw-in. Personally, would have liked to see Miles take a shot there once he cut back. He's got a cannon for a right foot. That ball well played by Wilmington. But Mustafa Ayad retrieves it. Gets it over. Oh, just misses his own players in the box. Couple times here, Arlington has shown too much strength on their crosses. Goal kick, landing just before mid. Wind is in Wilmington's face at this point. Wilmington controls it here. Tommaso Valagusa tries to slow it down. Wilmington holds on. Wilmington's attacking. Clint Garahan intercepts. Miles Lehman has the ball in some space. He's cutting forward. He's looking for help. Sends it up to Tommaso Valagusa. Tommaso hits Lloyd Cleary with the ball. Lloyd hits the ref. Peter Mitri with the ball. Over to Max McCursey. Back to Peter Mitri. Up to Phineas. Phineas Santello has the ball. Looks for the give and go, and he's going to get it. Going to need some speed here. It works, but not able to get a strong cross off. Wilmington keeper sends the ball out to about midfield. It goes off a Wilmington player. Peter Mitri will have a throw in. Right away to Phineas Santello. Phineas has that pass intercepted, but again out of bounds. Phineas uses his big throw here to try and get the ball up to Francesco Valagusa, and it'll be a throw in. When possible, the Arlington captain, Phineas Santello, likes to try and use his throw in from this area as if it's a corner kick. He'll back up and launch it. Let's see if Arlington can get a head or a foot on the ball. Ball comes in, bounces over the top. Wilmington clears it. Peter Mitri takes a shot, and just a bit high and outside. Peter Mitri's come close a couple of times this year to having a goal. And the Arlington coach, Coach Lanciazio, is always in favor of putting as many shots on as possible. Nice ball up to Francesco Valagusa. He's got the ball. Tries a touch pass to Mustafa Ayad. This one will almost go out of bounds, and now it does. Ball played in by Clint Garahan to Miles Lehman, and they'll have another throw-in. Wilmington looks to get the ball out. Launches it here, but that's Max McCursey, number 24, using his height, getting the ball up. Phineas Santello passes back to number 13, Lloyd Cleary. Lloyd Cleary to number 2, Peter Mitri. Peter Mitri gets the ball going forward by passing it first to Max McCursey. That one was launched a little bit too hard. Approximately 13 minutes gone in the game. Score is 0-0. Tommaso Valagusa called for that foul as he made contact with the back of one of the Wilmington players. This ball picked up by keeper Ben Wasco. Arlington last played 6 days ago and had a tough loss to rival Winchester. Winchester took that game 4-1. Arlington certainly looking to rebound from that. Big throw. Lloyd Cleary sends it forward to number 4, Mustafa Ayad. Mustafa gets it to Francesco Valagusa on the give and go there. Mustafa's taken down. Time for a shot from Tommaso Valagusa. He has scored on free kicks already this year. One from as far as 35 yards out. He'll ask for his 10 yards. And hopefully he puts this one on frame. Low, hard shot, and it's a beauty into the back of the net. Tommaso Valagusa is quite the sniper with the direct kick. He saw an opening to the right of the goalie. The left side as Tommaso was facing. Put a low, hard ball perfectly into the back of the net, and Arlington leads 1-0. Mustafa Ayad earned that free kick by being fouled. And Tommaso Valagusa made it pay off. Ball up to Francesco. Francesco back to Mustafa. Mustafa to Tommaso. Tommaso back to Max McCursey. Max McCursey looked to getting it to Lloyd Cleary. Intercepted by Wilmington at the midfield. They still have the ball. And Adrian Block with a strong tackle stands up the Wilmington attacker and gets the ball back for Arlington possession. Francesco Valagusa has the ball, cuts to the midfield. He's got people. Tried to thread it through to his brother. Francesco Valagusa starts at striker number 11. His brother Tommaso Valagusa, 2 years older and a senior, starts at central midfielder. He is the team's leading scorer. This one up to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks to send it into the middle behind Francesco Valagusa. Max McCursey on the ball here. The Arlington defenders would do well to hold their line and their positions a little bit better. Sometimes when they lose shape, they are vulnerable. A lot of coaching going on. That's number 8. For Wilmington is Nick Haddad. He is a senior and captain of the team. He and number 8 for Arlington, senior captain Phineas Santello, played on a club team together this past spring and were the U17 State Cup champions, earning them a trip to Colorado for the National Cup. So those two have known each other for a while. That's Phineas Santello right there, heading for the ball, trying to keep it in the Wilmington end. He gains control and then loses it as the Wilmington defender stayed with him. Peter Mitri steps here for the ball. Nice job. Mustafa Ayad knocked down. Ball up to Lloyd Cleary, out to Peter Mitri. Peter Mitri to Phineas Santello, back to Peter Mitri, to Lloyd Cleary, to Francesco Valagusa, to Tommaso Valagusa. Looking for another long goal there. Clint Garahan touches it out to Miles Lehman. Miles crosses it into the middle. And Tommaso Valagusa was not able to connect there. Peter Mitri on the ball, turns it. Cuts it back to Mustafa Ayad. Mustafa to Tommaso. Tommaso looks to thread it through. And again, Wilmington tries to control. Lloyd Cleary gets on that one. And Wilmington has had enough of this. Wants to reset. Launches it out of bounds, but Arlington's right back on it. Tommaso Valagusa out to Miles Lehman. That's chipped up and in. It should be very handleable. Handleable. Not sure if that's a word, but we'll make it one. Handleable by the Wilmington keeper. Keeper launches a high ball, spinning. Clint Garahan's there. It's touch forward, Adrian Black. Looking to stay with the attacker. He's got some speed. And Adrian Black does a nice job of boxing out there. Keeper Ben Wasco will take this goal kick. That has not usually been how they've done it here in Arlington, but looks like he's been practicing. And he got that one out nicely. Clint Garahan to Tommaso Valagusa, up to Miles Lehman. Miles to Francesco. Francesco back to Miles. Looking for Lloyd Cleary. They look to switch fields. No, it's controlled by Tommaso Valagusa in the middle to Adrian Black. Adrian out to Max McCursey. Max McCursey cuts it into the middle. Shows his dribbling skills as he gets it forward to Lloyd Cleary. Lloyd looks for a through ball to Phineas Santello. Phineas Santello's on his horse, looking to cross it. Sends again a strong ball over. A couple of times now, Phineas has had an opportunity there in the corner. Not able to turn it in. Wilmington controlling in the midfield here. Mustafa Ayad forces it back a bit. Francesco Valagusa comes here to help. Wilmington maintains control, however. Sends this ball through, but it will go out of bounds. Another goal kick here by Ben Wasco. He gets it out to midfield. Looks like it hit the face of, there we go, Mustafa Ayad. Nice pass by Max McCursey to Phineas Santello. Crossed in. And Wilmington sends it out. Nice control by Clint Garahan to Max McCursey. Dylan Braven now in for Francesco Valagusa. Number 10 there. Calling for the ball. Phineas Santello drills it cross field. That's a handball. And that will be another chance for Tommaso Valagusa to test out his sharpshooting skills. He takes it quick. It's low, it's hard, but saved. Keeper was apparently not underestimating Tommaso Valagusa on that one. Lloyd Cleary draws a foul there. Wellington quickly kicks it in, short passing, up to Peter Mitri. Peter Mitri, Phineas Santello. Phineas Santello to Lloyd Cleary. Tommaso Valagusa now on the ball. Clint Garahan, Miles Lehman to Dylan Braveman. Dylan earns a corner kick for the team. In the past, Arlington has not been safe with a 1-0 lead against Wilmington. Would be good for them to get a second goal here. Ball in, sharp one by Lloyd Cleary. Bounces over the top of Max McCursey. Came up from his defensive position, trying to use his height. Arlington will have a throw in. Phineas Santello has the ball. Looking for somebody to cut. Sees Mustafa Ayad and Dylan Braveman. Bounces it down to Dylan. Dylan passes it back to Phineas. Phineas looks to launch it. And this one will be out of bounds for another corner kick. Mustafa Ayad will take it. His dominant foot is left. They like this curve better on these shots. And that's off the top. As our fans know, it is legal to score directly on a corner kick. And it looks like we have a timeout right now for Wilmington. And we're back. Wilmington brings in a substitute on this throw-in. With 13 and a half minutes left in the first half, still 1-0 Arlington. Nick Haddad on the big throw-in. This one's bouncing around. Tommaso Valagusa decides to send it forward rather than taking any chances. Dylan Braveman has a shot here. He's going to have to be fast to catch his own ball, but it will go out of bounds, and it will be goal kick for Wilmington. Of course, fans of Arlington soccer are always invited to come out to the game. On days like this, the boosters are selling some delicious hot chocolate made by the mother of Francesco and Tommaso Valagusa. I like to call it Italian hot chocolate. It's certainly better than your average Swiss Miss powdered kind of thing. So if you make it out to a game, you might be able to also enjoy a delicious cup of hot chocolate. Ball up from Peter Mitri to Phineas Santello. Phineas to Lloyd Cleary. To Max McCursey. Max McCursey touches it over to Tommaso Valagusa. Tommaso back to Max McCursey. Up to Dylan Braveman. Dylan to Lloyd Cleary. Lloyd Cleary looks to chip it to Phineas Santello cutting in. It's a beautiful ball. Phineas sends it back to Dylan Braveman. And a bouncing ball in front. Oh! Wilmington able to get that one out of bounds. That was definitely a dangerous ball. Beautiful chip by Lloyd Cleary to get it up to a rushing Phineas Santello.
Got into fifth gear there.
Big throw in by Phineas. It's in the box. It's bouncing around. Arlington not able to get a foot on it. Moments like that, Arlington might even want to treat those like more like a corner kick and bring up Max McCursey as an extra body in the box. Big ball in the air, will go out of bounds. Arlington needed to account for the wind a little bit more there. Balls have definitely been blowing out the back as the wind blows from right to left on your television screen. Clint Garahan, good job on the half volley. Bouncing around now. Lloyd Cleary controls it nicely to Tommaso Valagusa, up to Miles Lehman. And now into the game, Andreas Cuellar, number 1. And he's in the middle for Mustafa Ayad. Francesco Valagusa has come back at right forward for Phineas Santello, who's taking a break. Dylan Braveman has the ball. Passes it out to Clint Garahan. Clint has that ball intercepted, but Miles Lehman is there to pick it up. Miles cuts it back. Still has the ball. Throw in Wilmington. Arlington sends this one long, but Wilmington does. Peter Michi's there, controls it well. Back heel pass from Andreas Cuellar out to the side. Dylan Braveman cuts back to the middle and still has the ball, looking for somebody to pass it to. If you notice, Wilmington is bringing a lot of kids, a lot of players back into the box. Only had one actually outside of the penalty area. And another throw in for Arlington. Wilmington has 10 players back in the box. Now they bring one more forward. They look to launch it, but Clint Garahan ought to be able to control this without anybody running on top of him. Wilmington gets it out, but Max McCursey was there. Just a bit more control needed. Throw in by Wilmington. Handball. Tommaso Valagusa looks to chip it up to Dylan Braveman. Nice touch on that ball by both the players, sending and receiving. Andreas Cuellar was looking for the give and go, and ends up being left with a left-footed attempt just outside the far post. Or as some like to call it, the far post. Dylan Braveman on the ball, looking to turn the corner. Andreas Cuellar keeps it in the attacking zone. And Wilmington fortunate to get that one out. Throw in here, Max McCursey. Forward to Francesco Valagusa. Francesco is not able to get a foot on it. But there, gets the ball and is called for a foul. Apparently a little bit too much hands as he tried to retrieve that ball. Andreas Cuellar steps in front of that free kick. And it'll now be a throw-in for Wilmington. Big throw in there by Wilmington. Arlington would do well to be careful of those in the future. Phineas Santello returns to his right wing position. Francesco Valagusa moves over to left wing, and Miles Lehman will have a sub. A little time on the bench. This ball bouncing in the middle. Andreas Cuellar is near it. Ball's bounced out. Mustafa Ayad controls. Tommaso Valagusa fakes. Gets it out to Andreas. Andreas to Mustafa. Mustafa to Clint. Clint to Andreas. Back to Clint. And that ball will be a throw-in. Tommaso Valagusa has it. Throws it into Andreas. Andreas touches it to the middle. Wilmington gains control and launches it out of bounds. There's a strong senior contingent for Arlington, and many of them are on the field right now. Andreas Cuellar, number 1. Mustafa Ayad, number 4. Tommaso Valagusa, number 17. Phineas Santello, number 8. Dylan Braveman, number 11. Clint Garahan, number 3. And Peter Mitri, number 2. All seniors. Most of them have played together a number of years, going back to the time when they were in youth soccer. That whole contingent was together since 6th grade. Some of them actually started together in 3rd grade. So that's a lot of history. Phineas Santello on the ball. Gets it up to Dylan Braveman. Dylan Braveman has it. Maintains it. Then loses it to Wilmington. Peter Mitri sends it forward. Dylan Braveman has it. Tries to get it up to Andreas Cuellar. Over to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks to cut it back. And into the middle. Still has the ball. Touches it forward. Andreas Cuellar has the ball. Was looking for Francesco Valagusa. And Wilmington urgently gets it out. Max McCursey on the ball. Arlington has people back. And a great tackle by Peter Mitri. Still able to take a shot, and that's an excellent effort by Ben Wasco to keep that from going in the net. Too often Arlington has moments like this where an attacker is free in the middle and they lose contact with him. Good kick out by Ben Wasco, up to Andreas Cuellar. Tommaso Valagusa, nice tackle. Looks for the long ball to Phineas Santello. Gets it to him, nicely done. Phineas cuts back, gets it to Andreas Cuellar. Andreas touches it to Phineas. Phineas goes to the baseline, gets the ball into Andreas. Andreas shoots, and that's a goal. Great play by Arlington. They get the ball wide. Phineas Santello took it to the baseline, cut it back into the middle to a waiting Andreas Cuellar, and Arlington has the lead, 2-0. 3 minutes left in the game. In the half. Both teams would like to notch a goal. Wilmington to get the game more under control, and Arlington to put it away. Strong work there by Tommaso Valagusa. Not able to get the corner kick he was hoping for. Wilmington rushes a little bit here. Clint Garahan shows a good leaping ability. Ball controlled in the middle by Mustafa Ayad, who's back in the game. Mustafa gets it to Phineas Santello. Phineas races. Again, looking to turn the corner. And he'll have a throw in. Oh, it's actually a foul called on Wilmington. Mustafa Ayad may try to bend this one in directly. Hopefully somebody like Tommaso Valagusa will go to the far post looking for the header. This one's up in the air. Tommaso does look for the header. Oh! Those two have connected for a goal in a very similar fashion earlier in the year. Keeper for Wilmington was ready and snatched that out of the air. Max McCursey to the ball. Wilmington has it in the middle. Peter Mitri with a nice tackle there. And then this ball is launched and is likely to go out of bounds. It does. Ball in the middle to Tommaso Valagusa. Calmly slows it down, gets it to Clint Garahan. He touches it forward. Wilmington will have a throw. Adrian Black looks to clear it. Phineas Santello on the ball, touches it forward to Peter Mitri. Those two have learned to work really nicely together this season. Phineas knows that if there's an opening, Peter Mitri will take it and be heading up the field. Peter Mitri is a very solid player, always gives you everything he has. I said before, if I was starting a team, I'd want Peter Mitri on it as one of my first picks. And halftime with Arlington threatening in the box. Time is called. Score 2-0. Arlington Spy Ponders against Wilmington High School. And as we start the second half, the Arlington Spy Ponders maintain a 2-0 lead over their opponents from Wilmington. Arlington is going to look to add to their lead. They do not have the wind at their back as we start the second half. They're back to their starting team. On the back line, Peter Mitri, Max McCursey, number 23, Adrian Black, number 3, Clint Garahan. This will be a throw-in for Arlington. In the middle, Mustafa Ayad, number 4. Tommaso Valagusa, who has one of the 2 goals, number 17. And Lloyd Cleary, number 13. Up front, left wing, Miles Lehman. In the middle, Francesco Valagusa. And on right wing, Phineas Santello. The other Arlington goal was scored by Andreas Cuellar, often the first sub in off the bench, if he's not starting. Big throw in to be expected here. And Peter Mitri does an excellent job there. Phineas Santello gets to the ball. Launches this one. And Francesco Valagusa's got an opportunity here. He's alone, but he may indeed earn a corner kick. He does. Oh, that will be called a goal kick. I thought it had been called a corner kick. But Arlington tried to take advantage of a long throw-in from Phineas Santello. Wilmington able to get to some defense back, and Francesco Valagusa was up there with the ball all alone. thrown for Wilmington. It is flicked forward. Adrian Black looks to clear it. Francesco Valagusa misses the head there. Into the middle. Lloyd Cleary controls. Looks for help. Francesco Valagusa touches it up to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks for Lloyd Cleary. This ball's bouncing around. Looked like Francesco Valagusa could not see that one. Max McCursey leaps in the air. Often not a good idea in soccer. And Clint Garahan gets it going forward. Francesco Valagusa controls it. Out to Miles Lehman. And this will be a throw-in for Wilmington. No, it's being called the other way, throw-in for Arlington. Arlington will not do well if they rest on this lead. They're going to have to stay focused and composed. And so far, they're coming out a little bit sloppy here in the second half. That's a dangerous big throw-in from Wilmington. This is something that they've shown in the past. Wilmington has a number of players who are multi-sport athletes. Not sure what other sport that athlete with the throw-in might play. But I'm thinking track and field, he'd make a good hammer thrower. Lloyd Cleary looks to flick it forward. Mustafa Ayad draws a foul. Tommaso Valagusa gets it up to Phineas Santello. To Francesco Valagusa in the middle. Francesco not able to hold on to it. Francesco seeming a little bit out of sorts here at the beginning. Mustafa Ayad with the ball. Gets it to Miles Lehman. Miles looks to get it through to Francesco. Francesco cuts it back. Looks to send it. Oh, and might have been better trying to pass there. Although there was not an easy target. Not able to get a lot of foot on that ball. Strong punt by the Wilmington keeper. Arlington needs to recalibrate with their expectations here because Wilmington does have the wind at their back. Those balls will be coming out further. Ben Wasco picks that punt up. Phineas Santello manages to head it. Nick Haddad controls the ball in the middle for Wilmington. He is a senior co-captain. Clint Garahan looking to challenge. Backed up by Mustafa Ayad. Nice move by the player. And then Clint Garahan, in what sounded like a solid tackle, is called. Maybe he got the ball, but then his leg over the top of the Wilmington player. Arlington prepares for this free kick. Nick Haddad, I've seen him put one in from this distance in the past. He launches this, and Lloyd Cleary sends it out of bounds. He was looking to send it in off the head of one of his players rather than to directly shoot on goal. Arlington brings extra players back. This ball is caught nicely by Ben Wasco, who gets it out quickly to Miles Lehman. Miles touches it up to Max McCursey, a little bit too far behind him. Nick Haddad looks to play this forward. Adrian Black picks it up, controls it well, and not sure what happened there. It's going to be a foul called on Wilmington. Kick will be taken by Clint Garahan. Arlington may have tried to kick that before the ball had stopped rolling and had to bring it back. This ball up to Francesco Valagusa. Goes forward to Wilmington. They look for a big ball over the top. Ben Wasco races out and picks it up. Ben Wasco has been strong this year on realizing when it's time to rush out. Use that big frame of his to scoop in the ball. is not afraid to go down on the ground for it. Phineas Santello and Francesco Valagusa work for the ball there. Francesco has the ball. He's pushed down from behind. And there will be 10 yards from this point that Arlington would be wise to ask for. They have their 10 yards. Tommaso takes a shot, but too high. Sometimes it's tougher when it's this close to get the ball up over the wall and then back down again. And that ball out of bounds, throw in for Arlington. Francesco Valagusa again on the ball. Looks like he's picked up his energy a bit. And strong play by Francesco. Leads to a throw-in. Miles Lehman has the ball. Sends it into the middle. Phineas Santello tried for a very acrobatic shot on goal. He did manage to get a full volley off, but sends it wide. Long throw here by Wilmington. Adrian Black back. Max McCursey sends it out of bounds. Wise play. The Arlington center midfielders would be doing a good job to get back and help. They are. Mustafa Ayad's back. Phineas Santello's back to help. Wilmington brings 7 players into the box. Big throw in. It's popped up in the air. And Clint Garahan sends this one out of bounds. Another throw in for Wilmington, and I think Arlington knows what to expect. Strong defense will continue to be needed, as this will be a big throw in, you can be sure. Again, Arlington gets on it, looks to send it out. Adrian Black. Clint Garahan. Francesco Valagusa has the ball taken from him, but Lloyd Cleary now has it and gets it up to Clint Garahan. Clint Garahan's going forward, using his speed. Andreas Cuellar cannot get to the ball. This one in the middle. Lloyd Cleary on it. Nick Haddad for Wilmington. Lloyd Cleary now. Tried to thread a needle there, and there was not enough space. Wilmington now on the ball, looking to send it forward. Max McCursey ready for the header. This one goes over the top, but Ben Wasco can pull this down. Does a nice job to leap, not take any chances with that one. Good punt. Phineas Santello looks for the through ball from Francesco Valagusa. Francesco holds on to it. Passes it back to Tommaso Valagusa. Up to Francesco. Francesco tips it to his brother Tommaso, and Wilmington clears. Arlington will attempt their own long throw-in, likely here, if anybody presents as a target for Phineas Santello. Wilmington's looking into the sun, so Arlington would do well. Just get it in there and see what can happen. Oh, nice job. Phineas got it to Tommaso Valagusa, who flicked it backwards. But the Wilmington keeper was ready despite the sun, and a charging Mustafa Ayad. Nice job by Peter Mitri to get that ball out to Phineas Santello. Phineas back heels it to Peter. Peter has that pass intercepted by Wilmington. And Adrian Black now on the ball. Sends it up to Tommaso Valagusa. Tommaso to Phineas Santello. Phineas pops it up in the air, more than he meant to. Does manage to get it through the legs of the Wilmington player. But now Wilmington looking to charge. Lloyd Cleary says, I've seen enough of this for now. Wilmington on the ball. This one will go out of bounds. I think Arlington will look for a long throw in here to change field position. That was not the best choice, as Tommaso Valagusa was covered by two Wilmington players, but managed to get the ball anyway. And Wilmington will send the ball out of bounds. Clint Garahan looks to get it to Miles Lehman. Ball's in bounds. Francesco Valagusa has it. Miles Lehman on the ball. And once again, Wilmington has little choice other than to kick it out the side. Throw in from Francesco Valagusa. Bounces up in the air. And Arlington not able to head it towards the goal. Missing just wide. Miles Lehman. Unfortunate. Mustafa Ayad had the ball. Looking for a cutting Phineas Santello. Peter Mitri does a nice job to hit the ball there. Nice give and go there. Francesco Valagusa in the middle with a lot of people between him and the goal. Wilmington, despite being down 2-0, is keeping a lot of players back. And Arlington's attack often running into a wall of blue shirts. Throw in here will be for Phineas Santello. Big throw in by Phineas into the middle. And once again, Arlington does a good job to get the ball going towards the goal, but not able to put it in. Shot taken. Nice effort there by Arlington. They're keeping the pressure up. Adrian Black sends it up there to Phineas Santello. Phineas chests the ball. Cuts it back. Gets the ball back on the sideline. Still has it. Looks to cut the corner. And Wilmington able to contain. Sends it out. Peter Mitri has the ball. Sends it back up to Phineas Santello. Phineas touches it back to Peter. Missed his target there. Max McCursey looking to contain this. And this ball is launched, but Ben Wasco sees it the whole way and is able to control it. Francesco Valagusa out to Phineas. Phineas looks for Francesco back in the middle. He's got him. Francesco cuts it back in. Looking for a shot, trying to get it through 3 players. Lloyd Cleary gets it over to Miles Lehman. And Wilmington able to clear. Lots of pushing going on here. Clint Garahan tried to make that happen, but it's called for a foul. Handball called. This will be a nice opportunity for Tommaso Valagusa to take another shot on goal, this time with the Wilmington keeper looking into the sun. Arlington not sending too many players forward with 21 minutes left in the game. Great take by Tommaso Valagusa, but just rises a bit high. Tommaso Valagusa on the ball. Looking for someone to pass to. Cuts it back. And takes a bouncing shot. Adrian Black controls there in the middle. Gets it up to Tommaso. Tommaso to Francesco. Francesco maybe looking to take a shot. He's been over dribbling a little bit here lately. And Peter Mitri is stopped there. Mustafa Ayad looks to help control. Great reach there by Lloyd Cleary. Up to Miles Lehman. Back to Miles Lehman. He's looking for the long ball to Francesco Valagusa in the middle. Good challenge by Tommaso. Adrian Black on the ball. Gets it up to Miles Lehman. And Wilmington controls. Although Tommaso Valagusa takes it back. Gets it again to Miles Lehman. Miles cuts into the middle. Tommaso will probably be looking to switch fields. Lloyd Cleary gets it to Mustafa Ayad. Mustafa looks to set it behind the player to Phineas Santello. No call is made, despite the fact that it looked like he was helped on his way down by the Wilmington player. It has been said that the Middlesex refs don't often like to make a call in the box. Not surprising they have elected to make this one here perhaps sort of a make-up safety call. This ball is launched, and the Wilmington keeper has it. Long kick from Wilmington. Max McCursey controls it. And looking for Peter Mitri. Arlington needs to stay sharp here. If Wilmington can pick up a goal, that will give them a lot of energy going late into the game. Max McCursey stays on the ball. And Wilmington somehow earns a corner kick call, which has, I'm sure, everyone surprised. Did not see any contact there by Arlington. We'll have to double check that on review. Nikadad looks to send it in, chipping it. Mustafa Ayad was smartly ready for it. And now Phineas Santella's off to the races. Has the ball, sees Miles Lehman. Ball up to Francesco Valagusa. He looks to turn the corner. He has another player he needs to beat. And this ball is out of bounds. Sub coming in here. Dylan Braveman for Francesco Valagusa. Dylan Braveman looking for the ball. Phineas Santella willing to oblige with a long throw. Was not able to get it over the top, as I think Dylan was hoping it would go. Looking to cut back door on that one. Miles Lehman. Ball forward. Adrian Black on this. Nice poke tackle by Clint Garahan. Miles Lehman has it now. Gets it to Dylan Braveman. Arlington needs to make some cuts going forward.
Cut into the box, Arlington! Cut into the box!
Phineas Santella falls as he tries to get that one, but now has the ball back and gets it to Lloyd Cleary. Up to Dylan Braveman. Wilmington rushing many people to the ball. Arlington has times to control. And Wilmington calls a timeout. As we resume after the timeout, with 15 minutes and 22 seconds left on the clock. Big throw in here from Wilmington, which Arlington manages to send the other way and get their own throw in. Clint Garahan will take this. Arlington needs to stay sharp. Plenty of time left in this game. They would do well to put another goal up if they possibly can. Wilmington controls out of the back here. Mustafa Ayad challenges. Wilmington manages to make a nice turn and pass forward. And that challenge by Mustafa gets a throw in for Arlington. That ball looks like it slipped out of Clint Garahan's hands. Max McCursey heads it. Wilmington controls. Clint Garahan fights for it. And it will be a throw in for Wilmington. Number 10, Dylan Braveman, challenging up front, putting some pressure on, looking to get to this ball first if he can. He's called for a push as the Wilmington player hits the turf. Wilmington off the kick. Arlington gets the ball up to Miles Lehman. Miles Lehman gets it to Lloyd Cleary in the middle. Lloyd Cleary looks to chip it to Phineas Santello. And that ball is kicked out of bounds. It will be time for a throw-in. Phineas looks to get it to Dylan Braveman. Wilmington controls. Lloyd Cleary takes a shot. Oh, not able to put it on frame. Coming on is number 1, Andreas Cuellar. Taking a break is senior captain Mustafa Ayad. Mustafa's had a very strong game. That ball's popped up in the air. When Arlington brings in Andreas Cuellar, he is more of an offensively minded center midfielder. Mustafa, a very strong tackler. And despite his many assists, is also highly defensively minded. This ball likely to run out of bounds, and Wilmington will let it become a goal kick. Showing his offensive mindset there, Andreas Cuellar, up front and attacking. Miles Lehman tries to keep that one in, not able to do so. Call there, not sure what the call was, but it will be a kick for Arlington. Direct kick to be taken by Max McCursey. No, actually touched up to Miles Lehman very quickly. He gets it up to Lloyd Cleary. Lloyd Cleary works the give and go to Miles Lehman. And once again, Wilmington sends this one out of bounds. Oh, it's still in, my mistake. Hard to see this far away on the field. Max McCursey has the ball. He gets it over to Andreas Cuellar. Andreas sends it to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks for a target. Finds Lloyd Cleary in the middle. Lloyd sends it to Dylan Braveman. Not able to control it, but Phineas Santello has it back. He looks to get it to Tommaso Valagusa. Tommaso turns and fires. And, oh, that ball does not go in. Great save by the Wilmington goalie. Great job by the Wilmington keeper. Tommaso Valagusa able to turn and fire. The Wilmington keeper made a great save to keep it from going in the lower left corner. Phineas Santello launches this one into the middle. Tommaso Valagusa on it. Max McCursey on this one. And it will be a corner kick. Ten minutes left in the game. Arlington keeping up some pressure. Lloyd Cleary will take this corner kick. Let's see if Arlington can get to the ball and get a shot on goal. Strong kick over the top. Miles Lehman looks to send it back in. Max McCursey has it. Peter Mitri now out to Miles Lehman. Peter Mitri again gets a foot on the ball. It's touched over to Dylan Braveman. Dylan sends it to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks to send it into the middle. It's bounced around by Wilmington. Dylan Braveman now with the ball. Feels like this could go anywhere. Dylan tried a fancy move to get it around the Wilmington player, but did not have enough margin on the end of the field. And it will be a goal kick for Wilmington. Long ball. Has to be sent back, apparently. There's a substitute coming in for Wilmington, and the field had not yet been cleared. So, another goal kick for Wilmington. Andreas Cuellar touches it to Phineas Santello. Phineas looks to chip it to Dylan Braveman. A little too much. Dylan Braveman on the ball. Max McCursey now on it. And Wilmington sends it as long as they possibly can to get it out of the trouble. Clint Garahan touches it out of bounds. Wilmington looks to turn things around quickly. Clint Garahan was hit in the head there, but gets up real quickly. Seems to be okay. He's not wobbling in any way, not holding his head. And a foul is called on that play. Then Garahan sends this ball forward. Showing his toughness there. Ball's in. Lloyd Cleary has the ball. Looks to send it through to attacking Arlington players. Now Tommaso Valagusa on it. This ball's through the middle, but oh, great job by Clint Garahan coming over to get that ball. I believe a penalty kick. Nope, corner kick. For a second there, I thought a penalty kick may have been called, but I thought it was very clear that the Arlington player got the ball first. He did. And then there was some contact with the Wilmington player. Wilmington player seems to be injured. He will have to take a sub as the trainer comes on to check him out. He's walking with only a small limp. I'm sure he'll be back in very soon. And Tommaso Valagusa does a nice job to send that ball out. And Francesco Valagusa also. Benoisco, nice strong punt up the middle. Something the team has found that they can count on from Ben. Wilmington has the ball here. Manages to get it to their own player. Vinny Santello challenges. Gets the ball into Dylan Braveman. Dylan cuts it back. Nobody there. Andreas Cuellar puts head on it twice. Francesco Valagusa looking for that one, but Wilmington has it going the other way. Lloyd Cleary challenges, and the ball's out of bounds. Big throw in, kicked up in the air. Max McCursey takes that full volley and sends it out of bounds. Wilmington looking for a target, and they will have their strong arm doing the throw in. Arlington has 10 players back in the box. Big throw in comes, and it's a corner kick called for Wilmington. That ball bounced around a little bit, and initially the referees were not sure. Francesco Valagusa to challenge this. And Wilmington showing it still has a lot of fight left in it. Looking to attack here. Arlington's hoping to benefit from having a number of players back. But they have another attack here to repel. As Nick Haddad looks to take a kick. That one bounces around. And it will be a goal kick for Arlington. Wilmington is a tough and athletic team. Three and a half minutes left. Arlington with the 2-0 lead. Arlington knows that a team can certainly tie it with that time left. It was approximately that much time that was left when Arlington scored 2 goals against Lexington to tie the game 2-2. Phineas Santello looks for the throw in here. Sends it long. Wilmington looks to control. Lloyd Cleary gets it over to Andreas Cuellar. Andreas to Tommaso Valagusa. Tommaso Valagusa takes a shot. No reason not to there. Keeper still looking into the sun. And as he's shown, Tommaso does have a strong and accurate foot. Nicky Dodd for Wilmington. Flicks that ball forward. Clint Garahan looks to contain. Wilmington keeps it in. Has a player cutting. Peter Mitri lets this one go through. Peter Mitri has demonstrated that wisdom before. As the player's charging, he lets the ball go by, knowing there's no one behind. And then the ball goes out of bounds harmlessly for an Arlington goal kick. A lot of soccer wisdom experience for Arlington. And sometimes it's the little things like that that help you win a game. Big throw in by Wilmington. And that was a handball by Max McCursey. For a second, Max seemed to think he was back on the Arlington Varsity basketball team, which he'll be rejoining when this season's over. He looked like he was trying to take a dribble there. Arlington puts 3 players. And that's a goal. Wilmington manages a goal. Arlington shows some of his vulnerability there. Arlington knows that this can be dangerous. Arlington subs.
Launch it, Arlington. Send it long. Send it long. Long. Long.
That ball sent long by Phineas Santella. Up in the air, Peter Mitri on it. Wilmington looking to fight to the very end. That's the way this should be played. Wilmington still has the ball. They take a shot. Ben Wasco has it. Probably will look to slow things down here. Sends that one out. Lloyd Cleary on it. Sends this one up to Dylan Braveman. Dylan maintains control. Sends it to Lloyd Cleary. And that's the game. Despite a late goal by Wilmington, Arlington able to fend them off. And it's a 2-1 win for Arlington. They fell asleep a little bit there, the Spy Ponders did at the very end on a direct kick. And Wilmington was able to score. And a furious last minute was played. But Arlington able to maintain the victory. This has been ACMI Sports. I'm Mark Santello. Danuta and Ahmed Ayad have been your camera people today. Thanks for tuning in.